Were shareholders happy at today's Apple meeting? We have an eyewitness report, that and so much more right here, right now on the News Hub. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Simon Constable. The Wall Street Journal's Jessica Lessin was there at the Apple shareholder meeting, and she joins us now. There she is in San Francisco. Jessica, thanks for being there.
Hi, Simon. Thanks for having me.
So what was the mood like at the meeting?
You know, these things are never the sort of spectacles we expect them to be, with the sort of clashing of companies and shareholders. I mean, this was a subdued, orderly mood. There were a lot of attendees. The presentation sort of went as planned. Overall, not much in the way of drama.
Not much in the way of drama. Now, I know there's been a lot of sort of tension beforehand. One shareholder in particular, David Einhorn, had been sort of banging the table for more of Apple's cash to be distributed to shareholders, including himself, of course. Were any of the shareholders there disappointed that we didn't get any news on that?
Well, in terms of the actual meeting, there were not a lot of questions about cash brought up. I mean, investors pointed out that the stock price was down, and Tim Cook volunteered that the company was very, very actively looking at ways to return more cash potentially. So he sort of added a very to what he had said before. Afterwards, I spoke to a few shareholders who did bring up the cash. One in particular said he had really been hopeful that he was going to hear more on that subject. But he's holding his shares for now, so it seems like the company's message, stay calm, carry on, if you will, with regards to the cash is suiting people all right. Stock is a little bit down today after the meeting. Okay,
and that can't be good. I mean, I know that shareholders do like their stock to go up. They do like to get dividends, which they're getting some of now, maybe a buyback or two, or maybe even more of that. Now, what do we hear about future plans for the company? Is there any news of a stock split? I know that had been talked about as well.
No word on the rumor that came up yesterday, which was a potential stock split, but nothing on that. Tim made his remarks that the company is, working as hard as ever on new things, but he even said we don't like to talk about those, as we know. So there was actually very little on product, on cash. The questions really span the gamut from human rights conditions to what Apple was doing about not having enough bathrooms in a certain Santa Monica store. So it was a little bit of a hodgepodge.
Well, that is interesting. So that minutia of number of bathrooms at one particular store is what he has to deal with, as well as running the one-time biggest company in the world.
It's really, the Apple shareholders and Apple consumers love their products. They have lots of opinions. There was even people who were upset and sort of asking Tim what the company was going to do about market share and Android. Still like to point out they love their iPads. Wow.
Yes, I guess they do love their iPads. Thank you very much. Jessica Lessin of the Wall Street Journal. You can read more on that on WSJ.com or in tomorrow's paper.